In Sahih Muslim, my brothers and sisters, there is a hadith that makes it very clear that this ummah will never die, will never be broken, will never remain asleep forever. Yes, they will invite one another time and time again on this ummah like diners to a dish, but they will never fully succeed. The hadith says, and this is known as Hadith al-Ijaba, the hadith of response. And there is a masjid in Medina across the street from the Prophet's masjid called Masjid al-Ijaba, because that is where Allah responded to this very special dua of the Prophet ﷺ that we continue to benefit from until this very moment. He came into the masjid and prayed 2 rak'ahs and raised his hands to the skies and made lengthy dua, then turned to the Muslims and said, I asked my Lord for 3 things, and He granted me 2 and withheld 1. One of those 2 He granted, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet says, وَسَأَلْتُهُ أَلَّا يُسَلِّطَ عَلَيْهِمْ عَدُوًّا مِّن سِوَى أَنفُسِهِمْ يَسْتَبِيحُ بَيْضَتَهُمْ. And I asked Him to never enable against my ummah an external enemy that will be empowered enough to annihilate them, to cause the ummah to go extinct. فَأَعْطَانِيهَا وَقَالْ وَلَوْ اجْتَمَعَ عَلَيْهِمْ مَنْ بِأَقْطَارِهَا. And so He granted me that, and He said, even if the whole world from its farthest corners were to unite against your ummah. You know, in 1914, when sort of the Khilafah was officially cancelled, the Ottoman Empire was officially demolished, Arabic was essentially outlawed. The masajid were, some of the largest masajid are turned into museums. People are made to wear deliberately these front cap hats so that they don't make sujood properly. And yet, fast forward 100 years. Is Islam dead in Turkey? This is not a political statement. President Erdogan got re-elected because he is perceived as being less hostile to the religion, to Islam, than the other candidate. It wasn't economic. The economics right now are nosediving in Turkey, because the whole world is seeing them get strong, and so they're trying to strong arm them, their final chance. Why did he get re-elected if the economy is going like this? Because the people want deen all over again. You know, in Algeria and so many parts of North Africa in the past 100 years with the colonial project, Arabic was systematically replaced with French, so you can't understand your Quran. The hijab was a crime to wear in public, not in France, but by French imperialists in North Africa. And they kept pushing, and they kept believing, and they kept reviving people's belief in this book. And then, of course, there's much rebuild left to be done. But in 1962, as one of the brothers recently reminded us, when Algeria earned its independence, the chant in the street was what? Ya Muhammad, O Muhammad, Mabruk alayk. Congratulations, Al-Jazair raja'at ilayk. Jazair has been returned to you. They couldn't get you out of our hearts. And if you want to understand why 100 years later they are still failing at erasing Palestine off the face of the earth, perhaps a hint as to why is because on one of the walls of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa today, in graffiti, they have it written, لَن تَرْكَعَ أُمَّةٌ قَائِدُهَا Muhammad. An ummah, a nation whose commander and leader is Muhammad, does not bow. And this is the reality. We are still benefiting from his dua, and to the extent that we align with his tradition and his values and his certainty, we will reap more and more of it. إِن تَنْصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ. If you support the cause of Allah, He will support you.